Hello folks, if you clicked on how to make best friend link, then you're probably wondering how to make a best friend. So I'm going to show you how to make a best friend. What do we need to know about best friends? The first thing we need to know, can we trust them? And this goes for any type of friend in general, because we might want to tell them sensitive information that we may not tell our acquaintances or semi-friends. So, how do we make a best friend? Well, if you're like me, you might want to start by going to school or working. If you go to school, if you're attending a university, or if you know, in high school, you might want to get into extracurricular activities. This is a really good way to get to know people. Don't be afraid to share your interests in your extracurricular activities like volleyball, football, an art club, a culture club, you know. And as your time progresses, by sharing your interests with these individuals in a certain extracurricular activity club, then you'll become friends with these individuals. Because one, you have a common interest, and two, you know, it's easier to make friends who are involved in the same activities you like, okay? Which applies to number one. Another way to make a best friend is to talk. Communication is very important, especially if you want to make friends. And you have to be willing to reach out there and say, hey, you know, listen to somebody, you know, say, hey, you want to hang out with me? You want to go somewhere with me or so? Ask them out, you know, like, hey, you want to study sometime? You want to go play some video games with me? Are you into that? Or if you're sitting at a table in college and you hear someone talking, try to jump in the conversation. If they're talking about something that relates to something that anyone could, you know, research, like a TV show or, you know, maybe fashion. If you have knowledge of that topic, don't be afraid to jump in and say, hey, for example, if they're talking about fashion, if they're talking about Louis Vuitton, say, oh yeah, by the way, have you went to that store? They have this Louis Vuitton that I seen, you know, it looks really nice. It's a very nice purse. Or, you know, a very nice book bag. I hear that Louis Vuitton company is coming out with these new designer hoodies. You know, that's how you can engage and connect to your best friend. Now, this doesn't apply to every conversation you may have to your best friend, because it may depend on what they're talking about. If someone you want to get to know is talking about something that's related to their own life, you may not have any preferences to it. This is only because of the fact that you don't know them to the extent. But if they decide to ask you, hey, you want to hang out with me? Go jump in, go hang out with them. Don't take no for an answer. But definitely, when you're around someone and there's a few other people who are talking to the individual you want to know, the key factor is to connect with them, listen to what they're talking about, okay? And connect to what they're talking about. If they're talking about kites, think of something you may know about a kite and jump into conversation, and don't be hesitant to jump into that conversation. Just jump into it. Say, well, you know, last year I made my own kite. Or you could say, or if it's a cartoon they like, you know, say, oh, well, I like Family Guy. Have you seen that episode where this? You'll connect with them. You'll definitely connect with them. You might not connect with the friends you want to make in all types of levels, but you'll connect to them in some way. And that's the most important part. The reason why you have friends is because they can relate to something you do. Or if there's something unique about them that they like about you, and they can learn from you, and you can learn from them. But sometimes it's best to make friends that can connect to you in similar ways, who like the things you like. who like to wear the things you like to wear. And of course, folks, it's being yourself. When you make a friend, you have to be yourself. Don't try to be like their clique. Be your own person. Like, for example, I try to be myself whenever I'm talking to somebody else. I don't care if they look hot. I don't care if they look cute. I don't care if they're a preppy boy. I don't care if they're a nice person. I don't care if they're a slutty girl. I try to be as presentable as possible and try to be myself. Because if I'm trying to be someone else, it isn't going to cut it. So basically, that's what you want. Now remember about the conversation. When we convert to other people what we like and what our favorite things are, if they like it, they will continue telling you what they like. And over time, you can ask them to hang out with you on the weekends. You can ask them, hey, you want to go to a bar and drink, or you want to go out with a few of my friends? Hey, you want to go out? You have anything to do this weekend? And that's how you make friends. Number 1, conversation and communication. Number 2, relating to that person, connecting to somehow in some way. If you can do that, then that's the vital point of making a really good friend. I hope this was very useful for you. Click on a link to see what type of friends you want to make.